My strength has been blowing up lately, and it's all thanks to one little secret that I've been using. Earlier this year, I set a goal of doing a 25 kilo muscle up, but despite sticking to my program and giving it everything I could, I still couldn't get it. I stalled for so long that I just thought about ditching the goal and moving on. Besides, who's going to know, right? Wrong. I'm going to know. And that's what matters. And that's exactly why you don't give up. You've got to stay curious because the lessons that you need to learn might just be right around the corner. That's when I discovered a simple trick that hacks your nervous system to instantly produce more power. All right, enough talking. Watch this.
Yes! Yeah, come on! Yes! Let's go, man!
Fellas, what I'm about to share with you is the easiest way to instantly boost your strength in your next workout. And it helps everything, pull-ups, dips, everything that you would want to get stronger. Have you heard of post-activation potentiation? Short for PAP, it's a training method where you perform a heavy exercise, you strip off some weight, rest for a little bit, you perform the same exercise once again, and the result is a temporary boost in your power. Think of it like this. You do a set of 20 kilo pull-ups, 1 to 3 reps. This switches on your nervous system. Then when you go to bodyweight pull-ups, you're going to be flying like a feather up over the bar. I like to think of PAP as over warming up. This way you activate your nervous system so that your muscles are firing faster. That way, when you drop down to your lower intensity, it's going to be a better result. If you're someone who's interested in strength training or simply trying to overcome plateaus, I honestly invite you guys to give it a go. And if you want a full step-by-step plan to learn muscle ups properly, go to fitnessfaqs.com and get our calisthenics programs. So running back to my own muscle up journey, here's how I successfully used PAP to make those gains. On my pull day, I would always put muscle ups at the start of my workout. Anything that requires power should always be done when you're freshest. And with muscle ups being my main goal, putting them first is just textbook. I'd always begin with just a few bodyweight pull-ups done explosively just to get things moving. A few cheeky chest to bar reps, if you know what I'm saying. Then I'd do several progressively heavier sets of weighted pull-ups, and every rep was done with maximum intent. Just a couple of reps per set, pulling as hard as I could, nothing crazy. The key here is it's still a warm-up. You want to be nowhere near failure because we want to avoid fatigue at all costs. Working up to around 40 to 45 kilos was the sweet spot for me, where I felt primed for the work to come. After that, I would move into singles of the muscle up itself, going up small increments in weight just to get that technique, skill, and overall coordination of my body going. And yeah, that's a lot of warming up going on, but that's the reality of strength training. Skill and technique are things that you have to build up gradually, even within the workout itself. And lo and behold, that elusive 25 kilo muscle up was achieved. Now, in the world of competitive street lifting, this is intermediate by most definitions. But hey, this is plenty to teach everyone, the up and coming generation on YouTube. Am I right here? Now, the mistake that I made previously and I want you all to avoid is not respecting the warm-up. I'd just do a few bodyweight pull-ups and then I'd go straight into 10 kilo or 20 kilo muscle-ups. Like a fool, I would then wonder, why do I feel so weak and inconsistent and awkward with my muscle ups? Everyone, if your goal is strength training or you're chasing 1RMs, you can't skip the warm up if you want to maximize your performance. PAP really hammered this lesson home for me, and the science behind it is actually pretty interesting. You're going to get increased motor unit recruitment. This extra heavy loading makes your nervous system activate more muscle fibers than you normally would, when you take off that extra weight. Reduced inhibitory signals. Your body's designed to protect itself, so it has built-in brakes that limit force output. Heavy loading temporarily reduces these braking signals, which means you can express more of the strength that you already have. Greater potentiation of fast twitch fibers. Doing some heavy sets wake up those type 2 fast twitch muscle fibers. They're the ones that are responsible for explosive movements or lifting really heavy loads. And for my nerds out there, yes, there's more mechanisms happening under the hood, but don't stress. You don't have to understand this like it's some type of school quiz. Just do it and enjoy the free strength gains. Here are some of the guidelines that I'd recommend for successfully using PAP, post-activation potentiation. Use around 80% of your 1 rep max. If you don't use percentages, just leave 2 reps in the tank. Going heavy and lifting your absolute maximum weights kills this effect. Use 1 to 3 reps only. You want to spark your central nervous system, not extinguish it. More reps just defeats the purpose. All you need is 1 set of this as a heavy warm-up. Really, you don't have to go overboard here because the goal is to prime your body to fly light like a feather when you drop back down to that lower intensity of the same exercise. Never, ever, ever go towards failure with PAP. If you're grinding, the rep speed is slowing down, you're going to be losing the effect of PAP. Rest for 3 to 5 minutes to make sure that you're fresh enough to make use of that power enhancing effect on your next set. Now, please don't be going and using PAP on every single exercise in your workout. It's a waste of time and energy. Instead, use it on the main goal that you have. Once or twice per week is perfect, so that you don't ruin the rest of your workout. What's so cool about knowing the principles of strength training is you can apply this to your own practice. It works for pretty much every exercise that you would want to do, except things that are highly technical, involving a lot of balance and skill, such as, say, a handstand push-up. For my calisthenics beginners, do you need PAP? Nah, man. Just stick to linear progress for as long as you possibly can. You don't need these fancy tricks until you actually get strong enough to justify them. Here's a summary of today's strength hack. Screenshot this or just burn it into your brain so you can reap the rewards. I'd love to share my recent progress that I've been making with muscle ups. Once you master your basics, guys, and you lay that foundation, you're going to be flying like this in no time at all. It's all about putting your head down and doing the work on the key stuff. Heavy weighted pull-ups, high pull-ups as explosively as you can with your body weight, and most of all, just staying consistent. If you just remain focused on the fundamentals, you avoid the fancy niche exercises, you stick to those really tough strength exercises, and you just refuse to quit on yourself, things like this are going to become inevitable.
Oh, oh. Man, that feels heavy. That is an absolutely different world compared to the 20 kilos. It's not there. Damn it. Defeated. I've lost the battle, but I haven't lost the war. This 25 kilo muscle up will not defeat me forever. I will come back to this and I will overcome it, and I will be proud of the effort that I put in order to beat this. This is a great way to test where you're at. You can't always train in the comfort zone and just stick to things that you can always do. It is important to see the threshold of where you are so that you can make gains, man, because that's what it's all about. It's that journey of trying to improve. It's not just about getting the 25 kilo. It's about the lessons that you have to learn, going back to the drawing board and having to work on your weaknesses, be patient, be consistent in order to get to the goal that you've got. So I'm humbled by this 25, but I will be back to beat this thing.
If you want the exact blueprint that I use with people worldwide to unlock their best muscle ups, check out my training programs linked below. And if you're serious about calisthenics, don't stop here. Keep watching Fitness FAQs right here.